All right, good evening. It is Tuesday, October 11th, 2022, 6 p.m. I call this meeting of the North Brookfield Board of Selectmen to order. If you'll all join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business is the approval of minutes from August 9th and August 9th executive session. So I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The approval of the warrants. I'll entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant number 8 for $358,231.36. Permanent borrowing number 1015 for $1,514,748.11. School warrant number 1014 for $42,264.08. And general warrant number 1016 for $265,727.58.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We have a reserve fund request from the Finance Committee. It's for Finance Committee membership dues for the Association of Town Finance Committees. For the amount requested is $163. And it's the annual dues for the Association of Town Finance Committees. The town is rejoining the ATFC after a lapse in membership. And what this does, they stopped doing it because of budget constraints, but they feel that the $163 for the membership dues will be well worth it in the benefits they receive from being able to ask the association for advice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
No, I think that's a great idea.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, no old business.
This is supposed to be local cultural council, not council on aging.
Ah, okay.
You want to be on the Council on Aging too?
What's that?
You want to be on the Council on Aging as well?
As well, yes, I do.
Okay. All right. So,
No, wait a minute, now, which one of you?
You do.
It says council.
Okay, yeah, that's okay.
they put the wrong one on here.
Yeah, okay.
So what are you joining?
The Local Cultural Council.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I put it down wrong, I think, originally, but,
Okay.
okay.
You can be on two.
No, that's, one will be plenty.
All right.
There's punishment to go around for everybody, you know.
Yes, I know.
I'll entertain a motion to appoint Dennis Kelly to the Local Cultural Council.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
I think he'll be a wonderful asset.
I do as well.
Yeah.
I
Great.
All right, motions.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Is
Do we have to sign this?
Yes, just you, I think.
All right.
I am the token mayor.
Oh, are you the only man on there? Okay.
See, if if you can straighten them out.
Yeah. No.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, right.
All right. Last time we voted to appoint John as the, do you remember?
We did liaison to NB Helps, but it should be ex officio.
Right. So I'll entertain a motion to change John's appointment as, from liaison to ex officio to the NB Helps organization.
So moved.
Second, discussion?
What's the difference? Ex
Well-
officio can't vote on things.
Right, and we're not supposed to, we can't be
Neither.
appointed to, as an active member of an appointed committee.
So the liaison was the wrong thing.
It
Right,
was just the wrong term.
yep, okay. All right, so next we have the warrant for the state election. Oh, boy.
It's a long one.
As written.
Well,
It'll get posted. As soon as when you guys sign it, it'll be posted.
well, we probably should read it.
Go for
Yeah. All right, so we have the state warrant here for the election coming up. There are a number of people on the ballot, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. Take turns reading the questions?
Sure.
All right, I'll start with the first one, and then John can go, and I guess I'll get the fourth one. On Tuesday, the 8th day of November, 2022, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., we'll be voting at the North Brookfield Senior Center, 29 4th Street, for the following purposes: to cast their vote in the state election for the candidates for the following offices: Governor and Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, Secretary of State, Treasurer, Auditor, for this Commonwealth, Representative in Congress, 1st District. That changed because of the redistricting. We were the 2nd District, now we're back in the 1st. Counselor, 7th District, Senator in General Court, Worcester and Hampshire District, Representative in General Court, 5th Worcester District, District Attorney, Middle District, and Sheriff for Worcester County. Question 1, proposed amendment to the Constitution. Do you approve of the adoption of an amendment to the Constitution summarized below, which was approved by the General Court in joint sessions of the two houses on June 12, 2019, with 147 yeas and 48 nays, and again on June 9th, 2021, 159 yeas and 41 nays? In summary, this proposed constitutional amendment would establish an additional 4% state income tax on that portion of annual taxable income in excess of $1 million. This income level would be adjusted annually by the same method used for federal income tax brackets to reflect increases in the cost of living. Revenues from this tax would be used, subject to the appropriation by the state legislature, for public education, public colleges, and universities, and for the repair and maintenance of roads, bridges, and public transportation. The proposed amendment would apply to tax years beginning on or after January 1st, 2023. A yes vote would amend the state constitution to impose an additional 4% tax on that portion of incomes over $1 million to be used, subject to appropriation by the state legislature, on education and transportation. A no vote would make no change in the state constitution relative to income tax.
Can we do the next one?
Yes, sir.
Question 2, law proposed by initiative petition. Do you approve of a law summarized below on which no vote was taken by the Senate or the House of Representatives on or before May 3, 2022? Summary, this proposed law would direct the Commissioner of the Massachusetts Division of Insurance to approve or disapprove the rates of dental benefit plans and would require that a dental insurance carrier meet an annual aggregate medical loss ratio for its covered dental benefit plans of 83%. The medical loss ratio would measure the amount of premium dollars a dental insurance carrier spends on its members, dental expenses, and quality improvements, as opposed to administrative expenses. If a carrier's annual aggregate medical loss ratio is less than 83%, the carrier would be required to refund the excess premiums to its covered individuals and groups. The proposed law would allow the commissioner to waive or address the refunds only if it is determined that issuing refunds would result in financial impairment for the carrier. The proposed law would apply to dental benefit plans regardless of whether they are issued directly by a carrier, through the connector, or through an intermediary. The proposed law would not apply to dental benefit plans issued, delivered, or renewed to a self-insured group or where the carrier is acting as a third-party administrator. The proposed law would require the carriers offering dental benefit plans to submit information about their current and projected medical loss ratio, administrative expenses, and other financial information to the commissioner. Each carrier would be required to submit an annual comprehensive financial statement to the Division of Insurance, itemized by market group size and line of business. A carrier that also provides administrative services to one or more self-insured groups would also be required to file an appendix to their annual financial statement with information about its self-insured business. The proposed law would impose a late penalty on a carrier that does not file its annual report on or before April 1. The division would be required to make the submitted data public, to issue an annual summary to certain legislative committees, and to exchange the data with the Health Policy Commission. The commissioner would be required to adopt standards requiring the registration of persons or entities not otherwise licensed or registered by the commissioner, and criteria for the standardized reporting and information allocation methodologies among carriers. The proposed law would allow the commissioner to approve dental benefit policies for the purpose of being offered to individuals or groups. The commissioner would be required to adopt regulations to determine eligibility criteria. The proposed law would require carriers to file group products base rates and any changes to the group rating factors that are to be effective on January 1 of each year, on or before July 1 of the preceding year. The commissioner would be required to disapprove any proposed changes to base rates that are excessive, inadequate, or unreasonable in relation to the benefits charged. The commissioner would also be required to disapprove any change to the group rating factors that is discriminatory or not actuarially sound. The proposed law sets forth criteria that, if met, would require the commissioner to presumptively disapprove a carrier's rate, including if the aggregate medical loss ratio for all dental benefit plans offered by a carrier is less than 83%. The proposed law would establish procedures to be followed if a proposed rate is presumptively disapproved or if the commissioner disapproves a rate. The proposed law would require the division to hold a hearing if a carrier reports a risk-based capital ratio on a combined entity base that exceeds 700% in its annual report. The proposed law would require the commissioner to promulgate regulations consistent with its provisions by October 1, 2023. The proposed law would apply to all dental benefit plans issued, made effective, delivered, or renewed on or after January 1, 2024. A yes vote would regulate dental insurance rates, including by requiring companies to spend at least 83% of premiums on member dental expenses and quality improvements instead of administrative expenses, and by making other changes to dental insurance regulations. A no vote would make no change in the law relative to the regulations that apply to dental insurance companies.
There you go. Question 3, law proposed by initiative petition. Do you approve of a law summarized below on which no vote was taken by the Senate or House of Representatives on or before May 3rd, 2022? The summary. This proposed law would increase the statewide limits on the combined number of licenses for the sale of alcoholic beverages for off-premises consumption, including licenses for all alcoholic beverages and for wines and malt beverages. That any one retailer could own or control from 9 to 12 licenses in 2023 to 15 licenses in 2027 and 18 licenses in 2031. Beginning in 2023, the proposed law would set a maximum number of all alcoholic beverages licenses that any one retailer could own or control at 7 licenses unless a retailer currently holds more than 7 such licenses. The proposed law would require retailers to conduct the sale of alcoholic beverages for off-premises consumption through face-to-face transactions and would prohibit automated or self-checkout sales of alcoholic beverages by such retailers. The proposed law would alter the calculation of the fine that the Alcoholic Beverages Control Commission may accept in lieu of suspending any license issued under the State Liquor Control Act. The proposed law would modify the formula for calculating such fee from being based on the gross profits on the sale of alcoholic beverages to being based on the gross profits on all retail sales. The proposed law would also add out-of-state motor vehicle licenses to the list of the forms of identification that any holder of a license issued under the State Liquor Control Act or their agent or employee may choose to reasonably rely on for proof of a person's identity and age. A yes vote would increase the number of licenses a retailer could have for the sale of alcoholic beverages to be consumed off premises, limit the number of all alcoholic beverage licenses that a retailer could acquire, and restrict use of self-checkout and require retailers to accept customers' out-of-state identification. A no vote would make no change in the laws governing the retail sale of alcoholic beverages.
And question 4, referendum on an existing law. Do you approve of a law summarized below which was approved by the House of Representatives and the Senate on May 26, 2022? In summary, this law allows Massachusetts residents who cannot provide proof of lawful presence in the United States to obtain a standard driver's license or learner's permit if they meet all the other qualifications for a standard license or learner's permit, including a road test and insurance, and provide proof of their identity, date of birth, and residency. The law provides that when processing an application for such a license or learner's permit or motor vehicle registration, the registrar of motor vehicles may not ask about or create a record of the citizenship or immigration status of the applicant, except as otherwise required by law. This law does not allow people who cannot provide proof of lawful presence in the United States to obtain a real ID. To prove identity and date of birth, the law requires an applicant to present at least 2 documents, one from each of the following categories. 1, a valid unexpired foreign passport or a valid unexpired consular identification document, and 2, a valid unexpired driver's license from any United States state or territory, an original or certified copy of a birth certificate, a valid unexpired foreign national identification card, a valid unexpired foreign driver's license, or a marriage certificate or divorce decree issued by any state or territory of the United States. One of the documents presented by an applicant must include a photograph, and one must include a date of birth. Any documents not in English must be accompanied by a certified translation. The registrar may review any documents issued by another country to determine whether they may be used as proof of identity or date of birth. The law requires that applicants for a driver's license or learner's permit shall attest under the pains and penalties of perjury and that their license has not been suspended or revoked in any other state, country, or jurisdiction. The law specifies that information provided by or relating to any applicant or license holder will not be a public record and shall not be disclosed except as required by federal law or as authorized by Attorney General regulations, and except for purposes of motor vehicle insurance. The law directs the Registrar of Motor Vehicles to make regulations regarding the documents required of United States citizens and others who provide proof of lawful presence with their license application. The law also requires the Registrar and the Secretary of the Commonwealth to establish procedures and regulations to ensure that an applicant for a standard driver's license or learner's permit who does not provide proof of lawful presence will not be automatically registered to vote. The law takes effect on July 1st, 2023. A yes vote would keep in place the law which would allow Massachusetts residents who cannot provide proof of lawful presence in the United States to obtain a driver's license or permit if they meet the other requirements for doing so. A no vote would repeal this law. Hereof fail not and make return of this warrant with your doings thereon at the time and place of said voting given under our hands this day, 11th of October, 2022. So I will entertain a motion to sign and post the warrant for the 2022 state election.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Nope.
Nope, I
All in
don't think
favor?
Aye.
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 Will we have copies of this at the town hall too? Do you know? Okay, perfect. I think that's,
It'll be displayed on the window, and then you can, anybody can come in and ask for a copy.
I'm sure it's online somewhere too, but,
Yeah.
yeah. You need to be able to sit with that one for a minute. There you go.
All right.
All right.
So next we have a letter from the town clerk. John, would you read that, please?
To Jason, John, and Elizabeth, I'd like to propose the acceptance of MGL Chapter 41, Section 110A. This would make it so when a voter registration falls on a Saturday or holiday, I can move it to Friday or the workday before. By accepting this MGL, it will save the town the cost of opening town offices on a holiday or weekend to hold voter registration sessions, acceptance of nomination papers, etc. Should the date fall during those times, voter registrations for election deadlines would fall to the business day prior from 8:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. And nomination petition papers would fall to the next business day, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Once this is accepted, we have the option of either staying open or reverting to the business day prior or proceeding the deadline. If we were anticipating a large voter turnout and the day fell on a Saturday, we would have the option to set the deadline for the Saturday. By accepting this, we would not be disenfranchising anyone from registering to vote. There are many avenues today for people to register to vote: in person, by mail, online, or through the Registry of Motor Vehicles, and we advertise the deadlines accordingly. This came from Tara Hayes, our town clerk.
So if you guys vote to accept that, then it would go on the town meeting warrant, and it would have to be voted at a town meeting too.
So that would go in the fall or in the spring?
I don't know if it has to be the annual town meeting or just a special town meeting. I can ask her. I don't know exactly.
Great. I'll entertain a motion to accept.
Do you want me to read all this stuff to you?
Well, we will. I'll entertain a motion to accept Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 110A.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion?
The only thing I just want to say is that if we do that, I think it's really important that we stay open the evening hours so that anybody who's working has the opportunity to make it into the office, so.
Tara said it would be the fall special town meeting.
Oh, she texted
Oh,
you?
she
Yeah, and John, you need to move closer to your microphone.
Oh, there we go.
John needs to get closer to his microphone.
Okay.
Or move it closer to you, maybe.
You want to read these? next
Yep,
two?
I'll read those.
Just so people know what it is exactly.
Okay, so Part 1, Administration of the Government, Title 7, Cities, Towns, and Districts, Chapter 41, Officers and Employees of Cities, Towns, and Districts, Section 110A, Office Hours on Saturday. Section 110A, any public office in any city or town may remain closed on any or all Saturdays as may be determined from time to time in a city by the city council, subject to the provisions of the city charter, or in a town by vote of the town at a special or regular town meeting, and the provisions of such Section 9 of Chapter 4 shall apply in the case of such closing of any such office on any Saturday to the same extent as if such Saturday were a legal holiday. So that would have answered our question about the town meeting. And then, you want me to keep going?
Sure.
All right. Part 1, Administration of the Government. Title 1, Jurisdiction and Emblems of the Commonwealth, the General Court, Statutes, and Public Documents. Chapter 4, Statutes. Section 9, Time for Performance of Acts Performable on Sunday or Holiday. Section 9, except as otherwise provided when the day or the last day for the performance of any act, including the making of any payment or tender of payment authorized or required by the statute or by contract, falls on a Sunday or legal holiday, the act may, unless it is specifically authorized or required to be performed on a Sunday or on a legal holiday, be performed on the next succeeding business day.
All right, thank you, Brooke.
You're welcome.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. A lot of reading tonight.
I left my tea in the car, too. Tea.
What's that?
I brought tea, but I left it in the car.
Oh. Vote to accept change to application to serve. What's the change, Ashley?
We added a line for the board or committee chairperson to sign before it comes to us, so that they
Oh, okay.
want the person on there, they verify they do, and then it comes to us and we can appoint from there.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Shows interest.
Yes.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve of the change to the application to serve on a board or committee.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
I would just like to note that we'd like the people to come that are gonna be,
Yeah,
we've said it
Yeah.
before, but we'd actually
Yeah.
like to see the people here to meet them before they, and I know it's not on.
Yep. Even
Yep.
if we know who they are, the general public doesn't necessarily know who they are. So, to have them come and introduce themselves on TV is beneficial.
I think it's also important that we invite them, because sometimes they don't know they're on the agenda. Which is what I think happened with Patrick Wimberly and,
that is what happened. I didn't reach out in time to get them both here, but I have been making sure I do that.
yeah.
Well, even still, when they
so.
go to get on a board or a committee, whoever's asking them to come should
Yeah, they
explain
can,
to
the chair
them
can
that they
also
need
let
to
them
come
know.
to the meeting before there, because
Yeah,
it's become an issue. We don't know who we're appointing.
Yeah.
yep.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Monthly police reports for July, August, and September. All right. Well, there's 3 of them.
I'll read the first one.
There you go.
Well, you did read the longest one of
You
them,
did.
so all right, we'll go that way then. All right, John.
The monthly report for July 2022 from the North Brookfield Police Department. Lieutenant Ryan Daly and Officer Jeff Martin attended the Active Threat Integrated Response course. This course is designed to improve integration between law enforcement, fire, and emergency medical services, EMS in an active shooter event. The course provides law enforcement officers with key medical skills based on tactical emergency casualty care guidelines that can be used at the point of injury to increase survivability of victims. The course also provides a model framework for law enforcement, fire, and EMS to integrate responses during an active shooter event through the Rescue Task Force concept using the active shooter incident management checklist. Moving forward, the plan is to train with the North Brookfield Fire Department as well as North Brookfield EMS. The repairs to the area that was water damaged in the police department continue. This is the damage caused by the failed drain system for the cooling system. Portions of sheetrock were removed as well as the suspended ceiling and the rug. We have continued to focus on speeding complaints in several locations throughout the town. In the month of June, there were 69 motor vehicle stops conducted. The following incidents were logged for July 2022. 36 incidents, 11 arrests, summons, and custody, 2 civil citations, 8 parking tickets, 2 protection orders, 3 accidents, and 21 license to carry firearm ID process. Respectfully, Mark Smith, Chief of Police.
You want to go next or last?
Sure, I'll go next, that's fine. This is the monthly report for August of 2022. The police department participated in North Brookfield's first National Night Out event. This was an extremely successful event, and I cannot thank the NNO group enough for the event they put together for the residents of North Brookfield. I feel that it should be noted that the NNO group totally organized this event in less than 2 months, where other NNO events had an entire year to plan. I would like to thank the Spencer Police Department for allowing K-9 Officer Brandon Fulham to attend this event and conduct K-9 demonstrations. I would also like to recognize and thank the Massachusetts State Police Air Wing for their flyover of the event and the officers of the North Brookfield Police Department, especially Lieutenant Ryan Daly, Sergeant David Churchy, and Officer Jeff Martin for assistance with the cooking and serving of hot dogs, snacks, and beverages. I look forward to next year's NNO. Following the NNO event, I attended a meeting with School Interim Superintendent Tim McCormick and the NNO group to discuss moving forward with resources for parents and children in the town in next year's NNO. Lieutenant Ryan Daly and Officer Mark Sawyer attended a 5-day patrol procedures and active shooter instruction certification instructed by the Municipal Police Training Committee. This certification will allow Lieutenant Daly and Officer Sawyer access to training equipment through the MPTC to train our officers how to respond to an active shooter incident. Lieutenant Daly has since assisted in both Spencer and Hardwick with his training. Officer Jeff Martin and I attended a meeting with Interim School Superintendent Tim McCormick regarding ALICE training for the employees in the North Brookfield school system. Prior to the first day of school, Officer Jeff Martin provided the classroom portion of the training to all employees, and this will be followed up with the practical training in the near future. All the repairs were completed from the water damage caused by the failed drain system for the conditioning unit. All the water damaged walls, ceiling tiles, and rugs were replaced. This also included all the desks and furniture being moved back into place. We have continued to focus on speeding complaints in several locations throughout town. In the month of August, there were 70 motor stops conducted. The following incidents were logged for August 2022. 33 incidents, 12 arrests, summons and custody, 8 civil citations, 2 parking tickets, 3 protection orders, 6 accidents, and 13 license to carry and firearm IDs processed.
Police report for the month of September 2022. The department was awarded a grant totaling $19,558 from the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security's Office of Grants and Research. The goals of this grant is to show a dramatic reduction in speeding on targeted roads. By having these funds, we'll be able to have extra patrols on the roadways at no cost to the town, educating the public on safe driving within the speed limits. The grant will also allow the department to purchase 2 new handheld radar units to replace the units that no longer work and did not have the funding to replace them. Also, there is additional funding for the purchase of bicycle helmets as well as education on proper bicycle operation while on town streets. Lieutenant Ryan Daly and I attended our annual in-service training that is provided by the Massachusetts Chiefs of Police Association. The mandatory in-service topics fulfilled at the conference were office response to interpersonal violence, digital evidence and investigation for first responders, 212 degrees, preventing officer crises, trauma-informed policing, hate crimes, extremism, and duty to intervene. There was additional guest speakers speaking about executive legal issues and post updates. Sergeant Christopher Donay retired on Sunday, September 4th, 2022. Sergeant Donay began his career with the North Brookfield Police Department in February of 2006. Prior to this, he was a police officer with the town of Sturbridge, beginning in June of 1986. During his time with the North Brookfield Police Department, he was promoted to the rank of sergeant as well as the director of the North Brookfield Emergency Management Agency. Sergeant Donay also served as the animal control officer The department wishes Sergeant Donays a happy and healthy retirement. His years of experience and service he brought to the department will be missed. We have continued to focus on speeding complaints in several locations throughout town. In the month of September, there were 20 motor stops conducted. A report of traffic stops was not finalized by dispatch at the time of this report. So I'm not sure that that's 20, it has two Roman numeral 10s
I wrote a
there.
bunch.
So,
Yeah.
a bunch, yeah. The following incidents were logged for September 2022. 44 incidents, 7 arrests, summons custody, 1 civil citation, 0 parking tickets, 1 protection order, 4 accidents, and 15 LTC and FIDs processed. And then we also have a letter from the governor. I guess I'll read this at the, well, we'll skip, let's, is that the same thing?
That's the same thing as the first paragraph.
Right, but that's the grant we're signing
That's the-
tonight?
Yeah, that's the contract,
All right.
well, not the signature authorization that you're signing, so you
Okay.
can
Okay.
add that into this if you want.
All right, yeah, we'll skip right to that after. So I'll entertain a motion to approve, to accept and approve the monthly reports for July, August, and September from the chief of police.
So moved.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
No.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, traffic safety grant signature authorization. So, this letter from the governor, dated September 14th. Dear Chief of Police Smith, congratulations. We are pleased to inform you that the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security's Office of Grants and Research has approved the North Brookfield Police Department to receive a total grant award of $19,558 in fiscal year '23 National Highway Traffic Safety Administration funds to support the municipal road safety program. All documents necessary to make this award official will be provided to you by OGR. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please contact Richard Valeri, OGR Program Coordinator at richard.valeri@mass.gov. We thank you for your work, for the work you do to keep Massachusetts roads safe for everyone. Sincerely, Charles D. Baker, Governor, and Karen Polito, Lieutenant Governor. So, I'll entertain a motion to accept and sign the grant for traffic safety.
Just Jason
that-
needs to sign
That's this?
to this spot right here, and then that spot right there.
Yep. You're
So
welcome.
moved.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion?
Nope.
Nope.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The top X.
All right. All right, review social media policy.
Table it if you want, give you time to.
Yeah,
look through it.
I think we should table it and look through it.
Yeah.
And we've done plenty of reading tonight already.
Yeah, I was kinda thinking that too.
There's like
So the,
5,000 pages here.
well, the one thing I'll say, it's two different copies. Well, they're not different. The one without the red is the one Tara sent us initially, to look through and I think adopt, is that
Yeah,
right?
Well,
Okay.
adopt, revise.
And
you know,
revise.
Make edits, whatever you wanna do, it's just a boilerplate kind of thing.
Yeah, so then I looked through it and I just added, my suggestions, my edit suggestions, and those are in red.
Oh,
And so that's what that is.
Okay.
And it was just, mainly like, it just was a little bit out of date with the platforms. Some of the platforms don't exist anymore.
right.
And then, I just think it's also important to have more than one administrator on town Facebook pages. So I added that piece in there, and then I think just a line about, minors, about posting pictures and names of minors. So there's just a little tweak on that too, but,
So we'll
yeah.
review and bring back in 2 weeks.
Okay,
All right.
so,
Well, public comment period.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I'd like to ask for permission to use the wagon train that I'm building at the common for trick or treat,
Just for trick or treat?
just for trick or treating for now.
For now.
Eventually, I'd like to get permission to be able to do it whenever I
So
can.
what are you gonna pull it with?
My tractor. My lawn.
Well, I have to ask, I mean,
Yes.
I think that there's several issues that come to mind. One is there's gonna be liability,
Yes.
right? And we're not sure what that liability is and who's gonna fund it, because it could cause our insurance to go up, right? And then the second thing is, falls under the whole, if you let one person do something, then you're gonna end up with more people wanting to do it. And then you gotta try to figure out, you know, you gotta vet everybody, and, I'm not sure that, that's the best thing to do. But we can move and vote on it, and, well, move it, and then discuss it, and then vote on it. So I'll entertain a motion to,
As far as the liability part.
Yeah.
I would have a sign or have the kids sign a waiver. I would just.
I don't think that always works though, because there's instances where
Well, the
it
papers.
doesn't really matter sometimes, because, you know, anybody could sign anything, so, I'm not sure that would really work,
Okay,
okay? Because there's instances where you could sign a waiver like that
yeah,
and still sue somebody,
okay, I get that.
okay? So, we can't foresee everything that could happen,
I
right?
understand. But what would the difference be?
So,
between-
well, hold on, we're gonna move it and then talk about it, then vote on it.
Okay,
So I'll entertain a motion to approve Sal's request for the train.
I still think there's issues
Well-
with it.
Well, we could talk about it after we move it,
Okay,
and then we vote whether or not we wanna do it,
okay, so,
right? Okay.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded, all right, discussion. John?
well, and you said it exactly, we don't know what the insurance ramifications will be should somebody get hurt. And also, what you had said was, once you let one person do it, you're not always gonna be on the committee.
right,
So the next committee is gonna have this come up to them down the road, and then they're gonna be in a situation where they have to approve or disapprove the next guy doing it. I think what you would do would be okay and safe in your mind, and I can see it that way, but I'm looking for, to cover the town liability wise. And if anything, if need be, we should ask town council or our insurance carrier what the ramifications would be should somebody get hurt, and how you would go about regulating whatever needed to be regulated on it. Speed, drivers,
Yeah, tow capacity, all of that.
participants, you know, inspection of the buggies, the carts and tractors.
they're definitely strong enough, they held me in my. I
I know,
It's true,
but
but,
It's a
but when,
liability thing for the
Yeah.
town, you
They
know.
have seat belts.
Yeah.
They are seat belted. as far as speed, the tractor only does 5 miles an hour. So we can't go any faster than that, it won't go any faster than that. But the other thing is, what would the difference be between me doing that on the common and the other group having a wagon ride at the school?
Because the wagon has a motor vehicle attached to it, right? So so the person driving it, it's probably a truck, I would assume.
It would be a tractor, just like mine, but mine's smaller.
Okay, so a tractor and a trailer, and they probably have their own insurance coverage for that and for that specific purpose. Whereas, I don't know what you have
It's a
for
long
coverage.
tractor. It's
No, I mean insurance coverage, in order to,
vehicle insurance, but I wouldn't cover my tractor off-road.
When
Right.
somebody signs up to have an event at the school, they actually do have to provide liability insurance, proof that they carry liability insurance, or that they do not hold the school responsible for anything. It's a big, long agreement that they have to sign.
yeah,
If you had liability insurance, then that might be different too, because it's like a private contractor, right?
Yeah,
Like, I need liability insurance to go work for a contractor, right? So if you're gonna do something like that, like the carnival, that we don't have in town anymore, it's a shame.
that we want to bring back.
They have to have their own liability insurance to
Yeah.
go to a town and do that stuff. So I think that if you were to say, provide some type of liability insurance for that, then I think that would be an entirely different issue.
okay.
Does that make sense?
No, absolutely.
Make sense?
Yeah, yep,
As far as the school goes, they're a different elected body, we have no control over them. And I honestly didn't even know there was rides up there. So,
No, I mean, I wasn't.
they're,
trying to
they're,
What are they doing for a ride?
I don't know,
It said there's a hay wagon ride or something.
yeah.
I didn't hear about it.
It was
I
on
don't know.
Facebook.
so, anything else?
Nope.
On this? All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Or not in favor?
I'd rather find out more information about liability and stuff before I would vote.
All right, so, everyone not in favor?
I'm not currently in favor, no.
Me either,
All right.
for right now.
All right, and I'm not either, for the reasons stated. So-
So if I got liability insurance of some sort for that specific event.
I don't see why not.
Mhm.
Just like any other group that does rides,
Yeah. Okay.
because it's one thing, if you're carting your own children around versus you're offering rides to other people's kids and,
Yeah.
there should be something there,
Okay.
Well,
to
if
protect, and that's to protect you as well.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd rather not lose
So-
the house.
All right,
Right,
We don't
exactly,
want it to come against the town also,
Yeah.
so.
yeah,
No, it's 100% understandable.
yeah.
all right. Thank you for bringing that up, though. It's
No, no problem. I just,
definitely something worth talking about.
I'd just rather ask than just doing it.
All right, public comment period still.
Yeah, the deadline for cultural council grants, I believe is 17th.
Okay,
I don't know if the common group would be interested in seeing if they could apply for one to maybe bring back the Leisure Lights show, or something like that. That this may be something to throw out there since you're here.
We can talk about it later after the meeting if you want.
I have another meeting I gotta
Oh.
get to pretty quick, but it's a pretty simple form. I've done it before, it's not complicated.
Okay.
And you just kind of fill out, but just bringing up the deadlines to 17th, so, I don't know.
So who would he get a hold of to do that? Cultural council?
Yeah, somebody through the cultural council, they're-
Dennis Kelly.
Dennis Kelly. Bring him in right away.
His first job.
well, you can look it up through the town website.
I was
Right,
gonna
yeah.
say, yeah, just
Yeah.
go to the town website, it should be posted there.
Okay.
Who's
And since I have to get going soon, John, the rail trail walk, I had a thought, I'd like to maybe incorporate a little tour of the new town forest. I don't know.
The park,
Yeah,
up top, yeah.
that off Brookyard Road.
Yep.
Yeah, so something to kind of figure out which way we want to do that, if we want to do that, like coming back,
I
or we
would say
have,
coming back and see if everybody's tired or not.
or if we have more than one person leaving, we can make a detour too,
Mhm.
on the way down. It's probably add another 20 minutes to the walk, but
Yep.
I think, while we're doing that, it might be good to just incorporate that, so, you know, can.
It looks good up there, though.
Yeah, you have somebody else who was leading the walk, Jason, or?
Brooks coming.
Me, I'm
Yeah.
coming. I don't know if I'm leading, but I'll be there.
I can't commit.
I can give you directions.
Yeah,
Straight.
so,
Straight.
so, yeah, maybe on the way back and, you know,
Yep.
you can park down on Brookyard Road there, if you, don't wanna walk the whole way back, that'd probably work out, maybe, but I'd like to get something posted on Facebook, so, we wanna.
Yep, I got that coming up here.
Talk, get more details, or you wanna just kind of,
I'll let you know what you can put on the face thing.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so I thought that'd be good to incorporate that,
Mhm.
people are on that walk.
That was the plan.
It was the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Anything else for public comment?
Nope.
John, 2 minutes?
I get 2 minutes.
Well, you used yours when you were reading that petition.
10. I just want to congratulate the Algoos for opening their convenience store gas station on Thursday, September 29th, 2022 at 12:49 PM. North Brookfield Farms Gas Station and Convenience Store opened. The first customer spent $10. The store has been busy ever since. Please visit the new business. Gas, coffee, donuts, beer and wine, and other convenience items are available. They're looking for help in the kitchen. They want to have fried chicken over there, make deli sandwiches, and a bunch of other things. Buy your coffee, snacks, or lunch, and walk over to the little park and enjoy them. Another thing, 2 years ago, the Board of Selectmen did a walk on the rail trail. It was about half done. There was some wet spots down there and whatnot. We had about 30 people go on that walk 2 years ago. This year, we want to do another walk. The Board of Selectmen, as you know, are the overseers of the North Brookfield Railroad Company Incorporated, and we've been putting in a lot of time down there. We'd like to have another walk on Saturday, the 22nd, which is coming up 2 weeks from now. We have plenty of parking over on Mill Street, which is where Tassie Fuel and Crowley Fuel used to be. It's Tassie Fuel now. We'd like to start at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's a 4-mile walk. If you don't think that you can go the 4 miles down and back, we're gonna have cars parked at different locations, so if you can't make it back, someone can give you a ride back, because it's downhill from here, it's uphill coming back. We can give rides if necessary. Brooke's gonna come, Jason is a maybe. I know Patrick will be there, Brandon's gonna be there, and we'd just like to have a nice walk. The trees are turning colors now, we can enjoy the colors. There's also a spot off of Brickyard Road. It's land that the town acquired a couple years ago, and we've been working on a trail to go up there. And we cleared out a field up there, and there's a pond, Walcott Pond, which was the family in town. They had a mill over there years ago. The mill is gone now, but it's a beautiful walk. It's probably a 10-minute sidewalk off of the trail. So if you're inclined to do the hill, and it's not vicious, it's just it's a slope. We'd like to have people go up there and see what they can enjoy. It's a beautiful setting. Last weekend, we mowed it and cut down a bunch of brush. And you can go down, we have benches down by the pond. You can go down and sit and relax. And we'd like to have people enjoy it's an open space that the town acquired, and we've been working on it for the last 2 years. So if you're inclined to go on the walk, Brandon's gonna put it on the website. He can use the dates, I'll check with him and make sure, but we'd like to have, you know, more than 30 people go. I know every day somebody's walking on it, people are using it with their horses and whatnot. Most of the signage is up, I'm getting more signage, I should have it in the next 2 weeks with the rules and regulations, that's coming, so we'd like to have a good showing. So, 2 years ago, we had cider donuts and cider from the orchard. We'll see what happens this year. That's it, thank you.
Brennan.
All right. Do you want 2 minutes as well?
Me? Oh, thanks, no thanks.
All right.
Hey, Brandon.
Announcements. The 2022 election schedule. October 22nd from 10 to 2 is the first day of early voting. October 24th through October 27th, regular business hours, early voting is available. October 29th, 1 to 5, that's PM. Last day to register to vote. October 31st, regular business hours, early voting is available. November 1st, 12 to 7, early voting is available. Last day to request a vote by mail ballot by 5 PM, and that's on November 1st. November 2nd through November 3rd, regular business hours, early voting is available. Regular business hours, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 8:30 to 2, Wednesday, 8:30 to 12, and Tuesday evening, 5 to 7. All right. A reminder that all appointed or elected board and committee members must be sworn in by the town clerk, and they must also complete ethics training. The firefighters' ball will be November 5th at Salem Cross Inn. Tickets are $45. Please see Fire Chief Joe Hallway to purchase tickets. And trick or treat will be Monday, October 31st, 5:30 to 7:30. No executive session, so there being no further business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching,
Yay.
and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good night.